You can call me Mystic Mike because I predict these things.
Waldo Cortes Acosta takes on Ryan Spann this Saturday at UFC Fight Night back in the Apex. And this is an interesting matchup at heavyweight. Very good test for Ryan Spann, who's making his debut at heavyweight. So moving up a weight class, taking on Waldo Cortes Acosta, who's been in the UFC since October of 2022, I believe. Very good record. Looks like he's got 5 wins, 1 loss coming to Marcos Rogerio de Lima. So very good guy, 12-1. Big for the division, 6'4". I think he weighs in at the heavyweight limit of like 264, 265, usually with a 78-inch reach. So big dude, former baseball player, has a decent power. Taking on Ryan Spann, who always been pretty big for light heavyweight. He's 6'5" with an 80-inch reach or 79-inch reach. Struggled to make the weight cut, so I'm interested to see how he performs moving up to heavyweight, where he'll probably walk around at 240 pounds, not making that huge weight cut that he's used to doing and draining himself. In 33 in the middle of his prime. So I do think I'm leaning towards Ryan Spann in this one. Now I know that he is somewhat 50-50, and we've seen like flashes of brilliance in his career, and it's frustrating that a few years ago he's like, I actually trained for this fight this time, and it's like, cool dude, how about you trained for every fight since you started, because then maybe you would have been able to fulfill the potential that everybody's always talking about that we're just not seeing. His last fight against Ovince Prue, he looked really good. He was landing strikes, got him with that high elbow guillotine that he's kind of known for, and I think that he could catch Waldo Cortes Acosta with that potentially. If they get to it, I just don't think Acosta's the type of guy that's going to get kind of bullied around and get in a position like that against Ryan Spann. He has lost to Anthony Smith twice, which isn't a good look. Split decision, kind of lost due to leg kicks and getting picked apart on the feet. The other one was by guillotine choke. Lost to Nikita Krylov, where he just threw himself into a triangle choke. No idea what he was doing there. Was doing decently well, scrambling with Nikita Krylov, who I think is high level. Lost to Bogdan Guskov, was having some success early on, so sometimes I worry about his IQ. But then he's getting wins against Dominic Reyes, Iwan Kutalaba, Misha Serkinov, having success against Johnny Walker before he gets finished, beating Devin Walker, Antonio Rogerio Nogueira. So he's got good wins. He's got a lot of potential. And I think he's just got a lot of momentum going into this fight with a win over Ovince Prue just back in October with a finish. Didn't take much damage. Going to get healthy, not cutting weight, going to have a full camp for the first time in a long time where he's not having to cut calories, and he can actually focus on getting better and game planning and strategizing against somebody versus half the battle he spent fighting the scale. Waldo Cortes Acosta, he's a baseball player. Former baseball player. He's got power, but he's kind of rudimentary on the feet. He's not the most athletic. I think Ryan Spann is more athletic. I think he's faster. I think Cortes Acosta has these big winging punches. But other than that, I don't think he's the most technical. He's not really finishing guys. He's kind of a decision machine. He did finish Lucas Brzeski, but who's not finishing Lucas Brzeski? And he hit him in the back of the head, too, to faceplant him. So before that, his last finish was against Danilo Suzart, who I've never heard of, that he finished by strikes. Who I don't know, these guys that he's finishing on the regional scene are just kind of low level. It seems like whenever he gets into the UFC. Jared Vanderaa, Chase Sherman. Jared Vanderaa is like 12-11 right now. 16-11. Went to a decision with him. Chase Sherman, 16-12 right now. Went to a decision with him. Lost to Marcos Rogerio de Lima, who's pretty high level. Finishes Bursky. Goes to a decision in 2024 with Andrei Arlovsky, who's got to be 46 years old. He's 46 years old, and you're going to a decision with him. Rebelis de Spain, the guy he's not a mixed martial artist. He's a karate fighter. Shouldn't be in the UFC. He was able to just take him down and kind of squeak out a win there. I think Ryan Spann has too much power, too much finishing potential against Waldo Cortes Acosta. I think he's going to be faster. I think he's going to have better foot movement. I feel like Cortes Acosta just kind of plods around. And if he connects, he can hurt you. But if he's not putting these other guys out, I don't think he's going to put Ryan Spann out. Even though Ryan Spann has been shown to be chinny, I think we're going to see a different fighter. Now that he's moved up, he's been learning from his mistakes. He's coming off of a win over again an aging Ovince Prue, but he looked good in there. I mean, I think that maybe he's getting his confidence back. I just don't rate Waldo Cortes Acosta very high. His UFC career has been against absolute cans, and you're not going to convince me otherwise the second he steps up and fights somebody like Rogerio de Lima, he loses. And Rogerio de Lima is 39 years old, and he's 22-9. So I think Ryan Spann can outland him on the feet. I think he can hurt him. He's going to be the bigger guy in here against Cortes Acosta. Even moving up in weight class, he's going to be taller. He's going to have a 1-inch reach advantage. I don't think he's going to weigh as much, but Cortes Acosta is kind of fluffy in the tummy. It's not like he's you know, a solid 265. He's not a Ngannou, let's just say. So I'm going to have to go with Ryan Spann, the underdog. He's a wild card in this one, but I feel like he's just much more athletic. And I feel like he's really going to come into his own in the heavyweight division, where these guys just aren't as skilled. He's going to have the lighter man's skill that the heavyweights don't have. The heavyweights are just kind of ploddy fat guys who can throw haymakers, and that's what Cortes Acosta is, in my opinion. He shot takedowns against Despania. I don't think he's going to be able to do that against Spann, and I think if he does, Spann's going to choke him out. So Spann is a plus 140. Waldo Cortes Acosta is a minus 175. So I trust Spann to get this one done. I think that even him moving up in weight class, he's going to be the most talented guy that Waldo Cortes Acosta has faced. And I think he's going to get this one done. I don't know if he'll finish Cortes. We haven't seen him yet finish before, or necessarily even really rock, but I do think he'll land the bigger strikes. I think he can mix up his grappling and threaten with submissions to get a decision. So let me know what you guys think. Appreciate you watching.